So there's one really cool hack that you can use, and in reality there's tons of them that you can use to skyrocket your testosterone. The ones that I'm really fascinated with are the ones that take as little time as possible. High intensity interval sprints. That's one of them that we discussed earlier. Little things like putting your cell phone on airplane mode. Those are things that save time to dramatically increase your testosterone. Or here's one of them that I'm not sure you knew or not. Cold water is actually something. Cold water and cold temperatures, are actually a couple of things that dramatically increase your testosterone. And there's some intimate details in the science of how this works that I don't need to go into explaining it. But if you can trust me on this one, and if you're really interested in the science, you can check in my references section. You can go read some of the research behind this and why this makes sense. But cold exposure, even brief cold exposure, daily or weekly, is excellent for boosting testosterone production. So what I would recommend doing is that if you're really intense, you can take a 10-minute ice bath daily. I would say try that 5 days a week. Or if that's a little too extreme for you and you don't want to go out of your way to get those ice bags or get the ice out of the freezer, you can always just turn your shower from hot to cold. What I like to do in the morning or in the evening is I'll just keep my shower on the normal heat that I would use, and usually do that just to get clean, and then I will switch the water slowly from really hot to pretty intensely cold. Not something that would be shiver-inducing or teeth-chattering, but pretty close, and I'll try to stay under there for anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, and I'll just let the cold water run down the back of my neck. And that has to do with, we have a huge concentration of brown adipose tissue, which is a kind of fat, BAT, and it's known as fat burning fat. And if you expose that to cold temperature, especially a region that's that large to cold water, that actually is a really great way of dramatically reducing your temperature very quickly and maximizing your cold response, your testosterone cold response to that cold water. If you've got a cold pool too that you can jump into, that's great. Just make sure it doesn't induce hypothermia. We want to make sure that nobody's getting hypothermic or in a hypothermic state over trying to increase their testosterone. That would be a funny one to explain to your doctor. So I would recommend start with cold showers or an ice bath or a cold bath. Start with a few minutes at a time and see if you can work up to 5 or 10 minutes for the cold portion of that. Give it a shot. Don't get too chilly. Don't try to bring the sweater in the shower or a blanket or something, because obviously it's just going to get soaking wet. So try the cold exposure thing. Oh, and another small hack that I like to do is that if you live in a cold region or during the winter, you can take advantage of this just by shedding a layer. So if you would normally wear a sweater when it's 40 degrees outside or a hoodie, I just lose the sweater or the hoodie, and yeah, I have to put up with it being cold when I go on a run for a little bit. But once your body finally warms up, you're greatly going to benefit in the increased testosterone production that your body is going to go through in fighting that cold and trying to operate in that cold. So get a little chilly and enjoy the benefits of great testosterone production from your cold hacking.